Welcome back to the stratosphere. Yes, it's an exciting day. I am heading down to IDR tomorrow morning for potentially the initial startup. Mike and Co have been very busy, including special thanks to Nico, otherwise known as Photobomber. Yes, here he is. Yes, they've been very busy on the Stratos, and tomorrow I'm going down to firstly just to register the vehicle in Arizona, because that needs the help of Mike's father, Jim, who has a friend at ADOT. Yes, ADOT being the Arizona Department of Transport. Each state has their own department in the United States of America, just for you English viewers. And Jim, yes, none other than Jim Carpenter of Jim Carpenter Italian Design and Racing fame, is going to hold my hand when we go and see his favourite ADOT person, who clearly has had so much hassle from him in the past that she just gives in. Hopefully that's the turnout of the situation. Anyway, let's catch up on what Mike's been doing. Don't panic, they haven't painted it red. This is David's car. It's the Hawk, or Transformer as the American version was branded, and it's got a long way to go, as you can see. So this is all part of the emissions, and this is for the oil vapor. We're going to be sticking just a regular filter, $30 type part on that, and then blocking the end of it that comes off the air intake there. So the engine's looking a lot more complete. All the air intakes are in place. Air filter will go here, tuck into this corner. Got a fuel filter down there, which is going to mount to the side of the tank. Dual coils, one as a spare, just in case one goes. There's plenty of room, so we thought it'd be sensible. Cooling is in place, pretty much. Big old pipe coming up from the bottom there. Main drag takes the water to and from the radiator. That will connect up over there. We're having some difficulty finding serpentine belt for the AC, etc. And there's that pulley that I off a Ford, I think, or a Dodge or something like that. Anyway, tensioner again. It's from
an American some kind of car. I ordered it to just basically to match up the outside dimension of the pulley and the width of the pulley, and then the rest of it doesn't really matter. We can machine parts or buy parts that'll make it bolt up, like what we have here.
Essentially, a new bearing for the original Alfa part was like $65, and this whole pulley is like $30. And of course, it's more readily available should it ever break, so it made sense to do that. So this large 1-inch pipe is going to come from the block here over to the coolant tank, overflow tank, which is going to be mounted right there with the aid of that specially created pipe. We haven't mounted the EVAP solenoid. We're going to bypass that completely. If necessary, we'll have to kit it that something's in the system electrically. So in its place, we'll just put a filter on the air breather, oil breather there. This piece here was specially machined as a throttle cable. just a work of art. And this is a close-up of the gauges. Don't even begin to ask me what goes where. But there is a diagram. And they're all ready to hook in. That was the attempt 3 that we cut last time with the plasma cutter, and still it wasn't quite right. So Mike's cut a 4th. The ECU harness is actually all kind of wired into where it needs to be, apart from the actual ECU itself, and we're debating where to put that. But we're actually thinking it'll be over this side, probably on this frame here, or on the crossbar frame that goes across the back there, so it's easily accessed. One that slots in there that isn't there at the moment. The exhaust gasket was pretty tricky to find. Not sure whether Mr. Bell sent us them in the first place or not. Either way, we haven't got them now, and we managed to find this. So if that's any help, that fits perfectly. Well, kind of perfectly. It's as close as we're going to get. Another little addition that we thought was worthwhile. These catches basically kind of slammed into the bodywork, and that was rather silly. So just a little rubber foot so that it protects the actual bodywork itself, and that kind of matches up with everything else that Mr. Bell have already done. So we started putting the exhaust in, and then realised we need to put this drive shaft in first, and also the starter motor. So there's the starter motor in place now. Not easy to get to, but that's that done. Once we get the drive shaft in, we can then put that rear exhaust manifold, or front exhaust manifold I guess, and then bolt it up to the silencer, which is indeed a work of art. It's starting to look like a car. Quick trip down to O'Reilly's, and a very helpful guy called Eric, not Derek, and we found a hose that was absolutely perfect. So that's what that hose is, and that's going to come over here, and then we got a bunch of hose which is going to come all the way and meet our coolant tank over here. Has now been welded up completely with a new modification, and ready to go. Quite the strangest teapot I've ever seen. And there it is in place, ready to hook up. We've got this metal pipe coming down here that you saw. We've got our right angle here. We've got another metal pipe a little bit like that coming to join the two, with some pipe away from the manifold, avoiding meltage. What, that's off the Ferrari?
Yeah, it's the oil drain back on a 348 from the dry sump.
Wow.
Like that, which you're all open in there, so we in theory could.
No reason not to, right? You got plenty of room still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, which we could just plasma.
And you're actually going to bring it nearer to the actual vent.
Yeah.
Not that it makes a lot of difference.
Yeah, so I mean, we could do that. And I could just plasma cut a piece that would bolt in between here and here to bring it up.
Yeah.
And just bend it, mount it off of the. That's not a big deal. We can do that.
Yeah, because you're still going to get a good connection there.
Mm-hmm.
It's flexible enough. Yeah.
With the hose. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't have many options at this point.
Just piecing together the timing belt covers. Kind of confused at this point. They were also working on this Ferrari Dino engine, which I was very disappointed to find out was not for my Stratos, because that would have been lovely. There was another interesting Lancia in the workshop as well, all the way from California, a Beta Zagato. Yes, quite a rare beast, not my favourite. I'm not a big fan of Zagato, I have to say. They tend to ruin as many cars as they make good ones. And this one just seems to be black and gold. I'm not quite sure what's so special about it, but there you go. It is special nevertheless. And talking of cars that are and aren't people's favourites, as you know, I'm quite fond of the GT4, the Ferrari GT4, and the build that they're doing with this particular one, which is ex-race car, and they're modifying it further according to the customer spec, and it's coming along nicely. Love these backlights, and if you watch the last episode, you'll remember that the exhausts are going to come out the middle in a grille, so there'll be a black kind of mesh grille with twin exhausts coming out in the middle of the car there. That's going to look fabulous. So sadly we didn't get the car ready for the show this weekend, which is a little disappointing. But at the same time, there's no point in rushing it, having not rushed it for the rest of the period. So thanks for watching. Do tune in again, because they are determined to get the car finished as quickly as possible now that we're on a roll. So do subscribe if you haven't already, and encourage others to watch this lunacy.